Hey, so before I get into this episode of KimBits, and wow, that was screechy, wasn't it? Hey, I want to give a shout out to Amy Shiflett, who left a comment on yesterday's video, which was about what was that video? Just Be Real. Okay. I had been struggling with Facebook and YouTube Live all day. Let's just be honest. I'd been struggling with Facebook and YouTube Live since I started last fall. And it was because I was pretty much trying to script everything. Everything. I saw what other people were doing. I saw all these tips from, successful YouTubers and bloggers about the proper setup and how we can increase our SEO. And in trying to do that, I was becoming ingenuous to myself. So I commit to you today, and it is August 13th. Oh, I don't like 13th. August 13th, 2020. I am going unscripted. Maybe that's what this episode should be called, is going unscripted. But that's actually not what I wanted to talk to you today about. So in getting real, all right, I think that it's important to talk about what we don't talk about. So I want you to consider all of those gurus. I don't even know what guru means. I should really look that up. Gurus, experts out there, and think about who they might be when they're off the camera. What do they like to do? Or when they're not in the face of their brand? Who are they when the cameras go off and when they're not on the stage and when they're not writing their book? And so in going with today's topic, I'm going to uncover my alter ego, because so many people are surprised when I share that even though I podcast and I talk about productivity and automation and all the systems that we can have set up in our business, when I am not in my business and with my family, I am playing video games. And that I have a ridiculous amount of hours logged in Steam for my favorite game. And my alter ego, her name is C.P.O.C.H.E. Go look her up. I want to share how I got that name though, because it's another thing that a lot of people don't know about me is I'm very reserved when I meet people in person. I am a lot more vocal, and people think I'm an extrovert sometimes when I'm on video because I talk a lot, or when I'm on my podcast because I'm very conversational. But I am very much an introvert. At the end of the day, after an event, I need to go back to my room, even after just like 2 or 3 hours. I need to go back to the hotel room and be by myself. So people see this reserved shell of Kim, but when they can meet me in a one-on-one setting, they're surprised at what comes out of my mouth. I am Christian, but I cuss. I don't cuss on my podcast because I'm trying to help parents who really need to get back to their families, entrepreneurs in general. But I have taught my own kids enough cuss words. I'm really working on that, by the way, that I don't need to be teaching your kids any cuss words as well. If you object, let me know. But I've just decided that I don't need my kindergartners going to school and teaching their friends any words. And I don't want to teach your kids any words that they can take to school either. So anyway, getting back to my alter ego, C.P.O.C.H.E. It actually stands for Cookie Poche. You may have heard that I can't cook. I really can't. Every time I go into the kitchen to try to cook dinner, there is a very high probability that I will burn it because I can't focus on the stove. I get bored out of my mind, but I do love to bake. And in college, I would make nonstop batches of cookies for my boss. Chocolate chip cookies. I make damn good chocolate chip cookies. I also learned at that time, because he had just brought AutoCAD into his office. And if you haven't heard, I have a degree in interior architecture. I was an interior architect in New York, Connecticut, Ohio for over a decade. But the boss had just brought AutoCAD into his office. And I figured out how to turn on the setting that would color in the walls on a floor plan. And apparently that's called poche. I should probably look that up, because they had a way of teasing me because they knew I was very naive. To say that I was brought up pretty sheltered would be an understatement. So I should probably Google that actually and see what poche means. But they decided one day that my nickname was going to be Cookie Poche. I was 20 years old at the time. I am 41 now. And Cookie Poche has remained with me to this day. And they said that would be my hooker name if I were to ever work the streets. Excuse me. So when I've been playing video games, whether it be World of Warcraft or Rift or now it's Ark Survival Evolved, that's always been my name, is C Poche. If you look me up on Discord, that is my name, C Poche, Poche. Please, I will be, actually, my Steam username is not that. That's probably good because I don't want you to see how many hours I have logged in the game. But I don't want you to think that just because I am the host of Positive Productivity does not mean that I don't indulge in time-wasting activities from time to time. And actually, I don't consider it a time-wasting activity. I consider it rest and relaxation. When I have a bad day with a client, I go in there. And this hasn't happened in a while. When I have a bad day with a kid, maybe I should say, I go in, I hop on my dinosaur, I go chomp some other dinosaurs, and I feel better because my aggression has been brought out through my giga. I feel so embarrassed sharing this, but I think this is the stuff that we need to be getting out there. Just because we talk and we're experts in productivity or automation does not mean that we don't indulge in what some would refer to as guilty pleasures outside of our businesses. And we shouldn't be afraid to share that. I've had podcast guests who I've disclosed this to say, Kim, you should totally start doing lives or Twitch streams when you're in the game talking about what you do for a living. You know, how can you be showing ARC and be talking about marketing automation or productivity? Well, I guess I could say while I'm playing, my automation is set up so I can be making money while I'm playing. Yeah, I don't really have an interest doing that. I like keeping my game side private-ish. I mean, we're in a huge tribe, 40 people, 30 people, but they don't know who I am on this side. And now you just found out who I am on that side. I would love to hear what your non-guilty or what you should be considering guilty pleasures are, and how they would surprise your tribe. So leave a comment down below, okay? I'm going to be setting up a speak pipe by the end of this week so that in the future you can be calling in, asking questions, leaving comments. But I always ask you, just like Amy did on my video yesterday, she gave me feedback and I so appreciate it because she let me know, this video feels so good. Your other video felt really scripted and I couldn't even watch it. That's what I need to hear. I am not going to be able to improve and support you fully if you don't give me feedback. So call in, leave comments. Please don't be overly mean. You can be positive productivity, okay? Leave productive feedback. But let me know how I can support you. I will be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern with another episode of KimBits, and I welcome you to join me at that time. But with all this said, go forth and make it a positive and productive day.